Hello. Hello.
Hello and welcome. I'm very glad that I have the choice to talk with you today, dear Sabine, Maxima, and do an interview with you.
Thank you so much, Alicia. It's a pleasure to be with you today.
Yeah, I will first introduce you to our viewers.
Mhm.
Your wonderful work you are doing. We are just seeing behind you your wonderful paintings, your
Yeah.
soul paintings.
Mhm.
With your natural gift for healing, you're supporting people and animals on their journey for self healing by touching the body with your sensitive hands to get energy flowing in a new direction for deep recovery and transformation. A deep dive into a soul reading based on the astrological birth chart and constellation through the mind's psychic eye provides valuable clues for the keys for healing and life lessons. As a healing medicine, Sabine paints high frequency painting for self healing, as channeled personal reflection with radiant colors on canvas to accommodate more of the radiant healing energy coming from the divine source. The high frequency dolphins you're seeing behind Sabine are painted after a spiritual retreat in Hawaii. They are one of the larger frame paintings which can be bought as artwork as they function on a heart healing frequency which can be put to great use either in your home or caregiving institution to uplift on all the levels of the body, mind, and spirit. Sabine is also doing love readings based on photographs of the partners. And these love readings allow a deep dive into the relationship dynamics and also harmonize the deeper energetic levels in your relationship. Another possibility is in the help in guiding you towards your soulmate. If you are already on a dating platform and have different partners you want to date, but feel unsure who would be your best match. With Sabine's background in English and American literature and linguistics from the University of Zurich and the University of Minnesota, she loves to delve into book projects and translation from English to German to assist in the publishing of books of New Age wisdom. Yeah, I'm very happy to talk with you today, Sabine, because I also could feel how you are working because you supported me in our summit, the new time
Thank you
or
so much.
time of change. Yeah, so you were a great support, not only with translation, but also with your energy.
Thank you so much, Alicia, for the lovely introduction. And I'm so glad to be in contact with you and to have had the opportunity to learn um, also from your field of the Mayans, the old wisdom that has not yet so much reached me, and through the translations, I have learned a lot already. So,
Yeah, yeah, it was very great to work with you together. So I'm happy that I have the choice to interview you right now about your great work. We are just seeing behind you. It's so beautiful. I think everybody can feel the energy of the pictures, the love, the transformation that is coming through. So, how did it come that you started to paint? Did you ever have this natural gift?
um, yes, I found out early on as a child already that colors are very important to me. First, it was the colors of the flowers because I grew up in a nursery full of flowers, beautiful flowers. And my mom collected roses, and my dad had the alpine flowers. And I was always in the kitchen garden because I love the herbs to heal and the energy of these plants. And so you have a lot of colors, rainbow colors there, and they're just so uplifting, and they're actually, when you stand with the flowers, they energize you completely. And then I used flowers for healing people, like my grandmother in the old people's home. When she was very old, I just brought some of the calendula from my garden and I put it in a glass with water and made a little drink for her. And I could feel and see how even the small um, medicine that I brought was good for her energy because she was so old and so, yeah, the energy was not so high anymore. And then when she was dying, I saw how days before she went, I saw how she opened the body like you would have a zipper in front of you and always go up and down. And then she moved on. But I was always very happy what flowers could do for the soul and for healing
Mm.
because
Mm.
they are, you connect with the flowers by your heart, not by your mind. And and then when I was sad and I had difficult times in life when my parents died, I started doing the first paintings. I just took ribbons of color and I went into the garden and I just made, I still have photos, made these heart shaped paintings on the fences. I just used the ribbons in all the rainbow colors and I made these hearts one by one. So we had all the fence full of hearts. And
Oh,
I couldn't, this was completely intuitive. But when I did it, I got some healing from that. And then it went on that I started painting, and people would visit our house and they would feel the vibration of the paintings. They would come in, and the people who are sensitive would stand in front of my paintings and tell me that they could like feel it. I myself don't feel it that way. For me, it's like a pregnancy or a birth. Before I paint, I have to get it from above. It has to come to me, and I can only see it when I have done the painting. So that's
oh, really? So it's really like I always was introducing you. It is like you are channeling it. Is that right?
yes. I would have the painting in my mind's eye. Um, at a certain point, I would see colors. I would see part of the shape, and then I would have to sit down and paint, and it would all come into manifestation. But before
And
that, I would just feel the energy of what would be coming. Like, um, okay, and the dolphins behind me. It's interesting. I was sitting on the beaches in Hawaii. Mm, no. Um, the dolphins. I was sitting on the beaches in Hawaii doing paintings on paper, just feeling through the water the energy doing the painting. And
mm,
when I was back home, it was like being pregnant. The paintings of Hawaii would come out. I painted a healing woman. I think they're called kamukas or something like that. So she was there, but I couldn't see her. And I mean, I couldn't see her so clearly until I painted her.
wow.
Whenever I paint, I know I am in contact with this vibration.
Oh, that's so interesting because it's really like being pregnant because you feel the energy of the baby inside. You feel that the baby is moving, but you cannot see the baby clearly until it's there. So it's really like a pregnancy that's very, very interesting. And what happens to the people is like, get people healing when they just standing or meditating with the painting.
Yes, I had exhibitions where people would come in, and they stand in front of the paintings that they resonate with. So that's, I don't do anything. They have to feel it.
Mm-hmm.
You see the corals in those paintings, and I think
Mm-hmm.
I myself, I hope my heart is okay because I've been working in cardiology for a long time. But my healing instrument is the heart, and when I stand in front of these corals, I get a healing reaction from for the coronary arteries. So it was interesting for me that I ended up working in cardiology, and they were doing all the scientific stuff, and I had another painting in the back of me, and the sensitive people, they would come in and they would feel this vibration and say something. And it was interesting because my boss had very expensive artwork. So I would usually say, please go in, have a coffee, and look at the beautiful artwork of the professor. And then one person came straight back out and said he doesn't like all that artwork, that my artwork is pure artwork for him. So I was really fascinated. And I don't know. I really don't know how it works. It's just a gift that I have between healing and painting, and I like to do both.
Mm-hmm.
So I have been, I think the paintings do work as a medicine if I paint them for you, but you have to take time. It has to be 2, 3 months. So I have actually painted for sick people. And sometimes when I paint, I get really sick painting. So I know I'm going through something for this person. And
Mm-hmm.
it's not going to be a dolphin painting, it's going to be a painting, whatever way it comes out. They can be small as well. But it has to, I cannot manipulate it. It has to be this that's coming through. It's like a vibrational medicine. And I really don't know how exactly it works. It's just,
So that means when I would say, "Hey Sabina, I want a picture painting, please," then you would like connect with my energy and then kind of let it flow through you, and in that way you are already working with me, right?
yes, I actually, like you would receive a baby, I just open up for the healing channel that comes through painting and colors, and I'm just ready to manifest whatever comes in for you. The only thing I
Mhm.
can do is I can paint angels, so that's a different vibration. Angels are very protection, give you a lot of protection, and I used to paint a lot of angels for people, but I don't like to define it. I like to just let it be the way it has to be for you. So you shouldn't tell me what colors or anything.
Mhm.
Just be a gift from heaven, So,
Mm.
and
Wow.
the size doesn't. So I painted all these paintings because they were healing for me. So the dolphins,
Mhm.
of course, are an enormous joy, and they are a yin yang, and they are so much the eternity symbol, and so yeah. So I have different things around me, and now I start to paint for. Well, I want to sort of work with doctors and physicians because I think one has to test these things as well and see how it's working. And I'm inclined to work with really sick people because those are the ones that really need a lot of energy. And this needs to be personal, this needs to be um, coming from source. And so I want to go in this direction, like helping children who are terminally sick or whoever has a bad um, problem. I think I especially want to work with cancer and things like that because I think on a cellular level, one can still do a lot with vibrations for healing. So this would be the way to go for new hospitals, new institutions, to just start integrating these new um, vibrational medicine skills. And I think I come from an old life of being I have a lot of knowledge of herbs, so I could always just take plants and they would work. And I have, when I was a child, I could heal animals just by touching with my hands, or I remember horses and the doctors were there and the homeopaths and everything, and it didn't work out. And I don't know how I did it, but I just looked at the horse and I received a message of how to help. And usually it was by pulling a couple of herbs and and feeding it to the animal or whatever I was doing, but I just received these messages. So I think that's quite lovely because the animals are actually much easier to help than the humans.
Mm-hmm. Because they are not so connected with the mind like we humans are.
And a
Yeah,
horse,
also that's so beautiful. It would be so nice, a vision for a new time, for a new future, to have this old or this ancient way of healing, this intuitive ancient way of healing. It's a very female way of feeling, this really feeling inside, feeling the message from the animal, from the spirit world. And I think when we are children, it's easier, but you are still keeping your gift, and that's amazing. So you're not only working with paintings, you are also working, still working with your hands, with touching people. Is that right?
yes, I did. I have a diploma in Farbpunktur. That's an area created by a German physiotherapist, Peter Mandel. And I love this because it's with colors and you go on the meridians with light. But when I was doing this, I found out from the people I was trying to help that my hands are better than using the system. So now I just do it with my hands. I just actually, again, very intuitively, I just touch the people when they are lying on my massage bed. And I just, people tell me when I touch them, the energy just goes to the place of problem. They can feel that. And so I think it's just, I don't think anything. I just touch with my hands and the energy transforms and helps reorganizing the situation. Sometimes it cannot be done in one time, but yeah. And I do a couple of shamanic things as well. I don't know where it comes from, but I also clear the aura. Sometimes I see that I go with my hands in the air and do certain things. I don't know why I'm doing this way, but it has to be to clear some of the energy field around the person. And so I wish to really help people who need help on an energetic level, like people who have I used to treat people who have Parkinson's, and but my heart goes in the direction of people who have something with the heart, for instance, or a really bad diagnosis that they need help with.
It sounds, when I'm listening to you, it really sounds like you are very connected with your heart, with your gifts. Was it always like that? Was there also a time when you lost the connection to yourself?
Yes, there was because I was working the last 13 years in a hospital in Zurich in cardiology, and I would not stand up for what I think. because I needed to earn my living and everything. But it was also interesting to see what they can offer. But in a way, it was good for me to see how medicine works. But at the end, I really almost got sick from the
Mm.
surroundings, and I had to go because it wasn't authentic anymore for what I stand for.
Mm.
And I think it would be nice if we could work together, but I don't know if that's ever going to happen. But I think we need to work together anyway. I mean, bring different healing work together. And I think the time is now to do this. I mean, I probably came for this in this life, and I'm I already have a long journey, like coming from the plant wisdom, working very long in business for many years. And now I see that I cannot escape my own calling or vocation for what I came for. And even if people might sometimes not take this seriously, I have now learned to stand up for it because it's coming from source. It's coming from I don't know. It's coming from source. It's not something I invented or did anything special for. It, it
Yeah,
came.
I think there are more and more people right now who are standing at that point. They are asking themselves, am I really authentic? Am I really living what I am? And so you overcame this already. You are living your gifts right now, and you are also assisting people with soul reading. You're also very deep into astrological wisdom. So you're helping people also to find their destiny, don't you?
Yes, the astrology I've always had as a part of a wisdom I came with, but I found out all of a sudden that it helps. It really helps. The way I look at the birth chart helps, especially to see how you can heal, not just your personality, but you can see the reflections of the body, and you see. Um, I've had so many people who have an illness, and then I open up the chart, and you can see it. And
Mm.
the body has this as a as something they brought, and so I think it's very important for them to understand deep psychology of themselves, and I find this very important. So first, I try to touch base with a soul reading to help understanding the deeper psychology, and then I usually start painting or treating people because it's a good basis to know where the power lies and where the weaknesses are, and also to have like if I have somebody with cancer or something like that, if I open up this chart, I usually find it in the chart. And so um, you just see a weakness. You see a weakness being reflected by planets standing in a certain way in your chart. And my task is to see this, but to help you to see where the healing lies in your chart. So maybe not to focus so much on the sickness, but to see cosmologically where you can draw power and where you have resources that you can take. Maybe it's a bit complicated. I think you don't need to understand everything I see astrologically. It's more certain aspects that need to be discussed um, for your healing. I mean, that one can see, and that's always very interesting to look into a chart because you can't see it from a person face to face. But when you look into this secret book, then things become really clear. And so I think it's a helping situation to grow and And this is just like a blueprint that you came for this life. It doesn't mean that this has always been so in all your past lives. It's just a roadmap for this life.
Mhm. So it's helping you to find a solution also in difficult times, for example, illness, or for example, when you are at a point where you don't feel well, where you feel it goes to another direction, but maybe you still doesn't know where it goes.
Right, right.
Mm.
And I usually have people who come with issues, and we can find them in the chart. And I like to point out all the power they also have in the chart to use that specifically to overturn um, the problem. And the symbolism and the signs are so specific that it's really good to look at. And it opens up in your psyche, it opens up a room for healing if you are able to look into this mirror and see clearly with what you came. And so that's it's just like I like to work in a triangle. I like to do the soul reading, the hands on massage, and then the painting. It's like a triangle. These are the three things I can do. I think the hands are the central, are the key, and the other things are like around it to help with the situation, you know.
It's amazing how many gifts you have, Sabine, because you're also doing the love readings. That means you're just looking into the frequency, if the partner really fits with you, if it is your soulmate. Oh, it's so interesting. And now I'm very curious, because you saw me during the summit, you saw also Robert. Uh, did you also feel our frequency, if we are soulmates?
Yes, yes, of course. Um, you have a very special yin yang, you two together, because you are super feminine in this life with all the children you have birthed, right? But inside of Alicia, there's a very good male power as well. And with him, I see the opposite. I see a man, and I see so much femininity, but he cannot birth the children. He just has helped. And what's wonderful in your eyes and in your face, I could see that you're coming from the same origin, right? You're also the eyes and everything. You're really a perfect match to each other. There's no question about that. I I have to say that when I was a child, even when people would come to our house, I can just feel especially the energy between the people on the heart level. I look there, and some people have crises and difficulties, but if I see a strong energy between the hearts, it's all okay. You can fight as much as you want. But if I don't feel that, and it's like an open space and there's no energy and nothing, and I think it's not worth staying around too much longer, because things like that. And then physiologically, I have a lot of knowledge about how to see sickness in the face, but also a special talent like in astrology, that when I see couples, sometimes famous couples or couples, whatever, I a lot of times I do see like a soul match if the outline of the nose and the eyes, or it just jumps at me that they have found each other through the universe, you know? So, like that. But it's more something that I receive from above, and a, a progression of that work would be when people have already like separated, I can still help on the astral level to get this in a good harmonious situation, or to like to do the healing work on that level, you know. um, because people suffer so much. And people show me photographs of possible partners. They've always done so. And it can be very hard for them because they think they love this person or they want to um, get to know them better. And when I look at the photo, I get a sudden impulse, which is very strong sometimes. And it's not very easy to put this in words. It's just like an energetic feeling. And so I've helped a couple of people who have always looked for the um, yeah for the match who doesn't work. And then I don't know, I just told them that they have to be much more serious about the energy of the person and not just the looks and things like that. So in parship and things like that, I always find it also interesting how people are looking far and wide and they don't seem to see the match that I can sometimes pinpoint quite easily when I look at that. And so I have now thought that it would be another opportunity to go into this sort of area, although it's very carries a lot of responsibility, of course. So I don't want to overdo it.
But it's very interesting.
um, yeah.
And so you still have more gifts. It's unbelievable because you're doing the translation work. And like I said in the beginning, it's not just translating because you are really holding the room, you're working with your heart. I think it's a very special translation.
Thank you very much. That's what I have noticed. People are telling me, and I must say, all of a sudden, I understand why I studied English. I think because I can translate for New Age books. And I love it because I can sort of channel and translate. I can stay in the energy and put it, even if the translation might not be absolutely literary perfect on the highest level, I think the energy goes through. And so I did two books which will be published hopefully this year still, which are on Anna, grandmother of Jesus, on the Essenes. And when I read the book, I was transformed. I was transformed reading these books of wisdom. And then I found out they were translated into French, but not German. And so I just started a self project for this. And I think this is like a service I'm giving to the world because I think this can be used that we translate books um, with a healing quality so that it stays in the other language maybe. And I've also translated for um, like you and I've always I actually love when the translations are not so easy and I can do it fully with my heart. And with Johann, I had this special intuition right away, the way he also felt me, and it was a very superpower translation with him anyway because um, it was the best because he how do you say he also helps you on the frequency you translate, and not everybody can do that. And so that was really powerful for me too. So, and I hope I'm just looking for more to do in this direction because um, it gets me in contact with international people speaking English, and I love that very much. So maybe there's an opportunity in the future to do more like that.
Mhm.
Maybe especially with a healing quality. Maybe I don't know how it will flow, but it has come through for you and what I translated.
I
It
think
was
it's so important, because I recognized it. Mm, that when I was reading German books, sometimes I couldn't really feel the message, you know what I mean? And then when I was reading the original, the English version, I could feel the energy. So that's why I experienced myself by reading books in different languages that it's very important that you really have a translator who's understanding what he or she is translating, but also feeling it because you're really like transmitting it, you know. And it's not, for me it's not only this translation, this mind stuff, it's really like we were here listening in this interview that you are really working with your heart. And I think, especially with spiritual books, this is a necessity. So it should be like that. Mm, and I think it should be in every aspect of our life. Also,
Right.
like you said, in hospital and everywhere, we should really include this. We should feel again, we should open our heart, and then life would be much easier and would much more flowing.
And I'm dreaming of like using my paintings to do book covers, you know,
Mm.
like also giving some energy to the way these precious words and books are printed and things like that. But I think you are the one doing such great work, um, connecting everybody. You know, it's just wonderful. I feel like before we were traveling by plane and so on, and now it's all through the internet, and it's wonderful. It works. And so we can have universities like that, you know, we can have teaching and even really sacred
Or
things.
maybe that would be a great idea, that you also start teaching people in painting with their heart, and being really like a channel. And because for me, it's a very female art to really let it flow through you and bringing it here into the world.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah,
Mm,
I'm so excited because I have now someone who I can paint for, who really does have a difficult situation with cancer. And
mm,
I want to document this. I think this has to be sometime looked at even scientifically. They're just not able today. But um, and also, like you say, we with the children and with us. I mean, I came with this gift. It doesn't come from university, so
mm.
but still a valid gift
Yeah.
because it comes from the heart. Um, and I think we need this gift to for our world today. Everybody to bring out these gifts they have. I mean, I just have this. Other people have something else. And I think we should give this
Yeah.
more room and freedom to help us instead of working in companies and so on. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that will change the world, where we would all live our gifts. So thank you very much for
Thank you.
living your gifts. Thank you very much for sharing your gifts with the world, and also here in this interview. It was a pleasure talking with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alicia.